Language arts. We are doing our sentence. In fact, I think I'll do this over here again because I think you can see it better. When it's straight on, a bit of a reflection. So yes, it's called an injection. I mean, it's just like, it's just in a word that kind of just plunks it into the sentence without a real purpose other than just making a statement. Yes, right there in the center of our yard. So it is called an injection. It's injection, it's an opinion. It's a word that is just kind of stating, it's a statement. Yes. But really, it's not a noun, it's not a verb. It just is there to make a statement, an opinion. Yes, right there in the center of our yard. All right. Who would like to tell me where the compound word is? Compound word. Compound word. What does compound mean? Ella. Yes. So two words put together in one word. So what word would be the compound word, Ella? What's that? No, that's a hyphenated word. A compound word does not have a hyphen. Ella. Yes. Outdoor. There are two words. That is making it two words in one. A compound word. Think of another compound word. Not in a sentence, but just in general. Helen. M.
Butterfly.
Butterfly. Grayson.
Basketball.
Basketball. James.
Baseball.
Baseball. Owen.
Football.
Football. Olivia. What's that? Nope. Soccer ball is not a compound word because it's not two words. It's separate words. Now football is or one word. Two words but making one word. Christian.
Toothbrush.
Toothbrush. Very good. Jonathan.
Goldfish.
What was it?
Blowfish.
Yes. Blowfish. I love it. Jeremiah.
Goldfish.
Goldfish. Cole.
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste. Toby. What was it?
Inside.
In and side. Inside. Very good. Woodsheen.
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Yep, that would be one. M.
Sunset.
Sunset. Sunrise. Sunset. Yes. Helen.
Sunshine.
Sunshine. Grayson.
Water bottle.
Water bottle. How about living room, bathroom, bedroom? Very good. I think you got the hang of it. So two words, but formed one. Compound word. All right. Very good. How about, let's start with our nouns. What is one noun? It's plural. Name one. Emma.
Center.
Center. Name another, Jonathan.
Yard.
Yard. Two more. Grayson.
Tree.
Tree. Helen.
The other center.
The what?
There's two centers. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
But we have another one. It's not center. Yes. Such a long sentence, it takes me a little bit to find a word. All right, now, let's do adjectives that describe the what? What do adjectives describe? A noun. Very good. So, name one adjective. Jonathan.
Weird looking?
Weird looking. What does that describe?
Tree.
Yes, the tree. Very good. All right. What else do we have that is an adjective? Cole.
Drew.
Mm-mm. Hold on. Let me. I don't know how long that was there. All right. So we have one adjective. Weird looking. M.
Hour.
No. Adjective. Remember, there can be more than one adjective for one noun. James.
Right.
Owen.
There.
Christian.
Drew.
Grew. No, that's a action. Jonathan.
Become.
Now, I did put something on. This is a compound word, but is it also something else? Outdoor. Our outdoor life. What would outdoor also be in this sentence besides a compound word? Ella. Yes. Kind of tricky because we have a word on it already. The first time that we've had two sets of meaning for one word, but apparently outdoor is very special. It's two descriptives or two labels. So there's one left. Now keep in mind you can have more than one adjective for a noun. Look at this weird looking tree. Winchine. Yes. This and weird looking describe the tree. That looks like an F. There we go. All right, very good. Now, what is the verb? I didn't say verbs, I said verb. Olivia.
Drew.
Yes. Grew. The tree grew. That is an action. It did what? It grew.
Woohoo for the tree.
Yes. Steve got large. It was a very big tree.
Very.
Very, very big tree. What about prepositions? We have some prepositions. James. Tessa. Yes, in. Describing a location. Prep. Head markers are not doing well. Now, is there another in? No. I want to check. This is a long sentence. There's one more preposition. M.
There.
Owen. Yes. Of.
There's two. Okay, there's two. What was your first?
All right. That takes care of our preposition. All right. So we have a possessive pronoun. What is a pronoun? First of all, what is a pronoun? It replaces a what in a sentence? James? Yes. So, a possessive pronoun is showing ownership of something. What is the word, what is the pronoun that is showing ownership? Tessa? Yes. Our yard. Very good.
There's another one. Before
Oh,
outdoor.
thank you, our outdoor life. You all understand the possessive pronoun, how it's showing ownership? And it's a pronoun because it's replacing the noun? All right. All right, what is the article? Now, what does the article always proceed? What are you always going to find it in front of a what? Ella? A noun. So look at the nouns, and what an article is generally a word. Which word is it generally? Helen? Yes. I'm going to put art. So here's a noun. And here's the noun. So we have article, art. Is there another one? No. What about adverbs? What does an adverb describe? It's in the title, or in the word, in and of itself. James? Yes. So, does anyone want to guess? It's a little tricky. What the adverb is. So we have one verb, grew. What would describe how it grew or where it grew? Olivia. Machine. So it's not even close. Here's grew. So look at the sentence. What describes how it grew, where it grew? Something describing grew. Cole.
There.
Yes. Actually, right there describes where the tree grew. Right there. Tricky. So, to become is yet another that you are going to learn down the road is an infinitive. Yeah.
To
And it's not-
infinity and beyond.
to is what I thought of too.
That's what I always think of.
Infinitive. Again, we are not going to worry about that, but you can mark it just so you can say you have everything marked. I think that is it, friends. I think we have everything labeled.
Woohoo! Confetti.
That was a long sentence. That was a long sentence.
From the sentence to form.
Now, any questions? We understand what a compound word is? Excellent. An interjection. What is an interjection? Owen. Yes is is a word that is put into a sentence that really has nothing to do with it's not an adverb, it's not a noun, it's just an opinion. Yes. It's injected, it's inject an opinion or feeling into the sentence. Okay, so yes. Trying to think of another example.
No.
No. So it just is a random word that is so yes. Could the sentence be complete without yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So there really isn't a purpose in the word as far as functionality. The sentence would be fine without it. It's injecting an opinion into the sentence. Yes. Right there in the middle or in the center of our yard. The sentence would still work if it just said right there in the center of our yard. So yeah, that would still work. So it doesn't have a purpose in the grammatical sense of the sentence. It's injecting an opinion or a idea or a feeling. Injection. You're injecting it with an opinion. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good job. All right. Should we read the remaining chapters of, maybe we can start watching, although I'm kind of hesitant to watch it because it sounds like it's completely different than the book.
Yeah,
Is it
it's a good movie.
Okay. So I have to watch it with an open mind, knowing that it's not going to be like the book.
It's a little bit like. Yeah, like the beginning and end.
Same characters.
Yeah. Of
Same
course, there's
storyline.
Ulysses.
No, not the same storyline. It's a little
See,
bit.
I don't understand why you would why you would take a book and make it into a movie and not use the same storyline. That just isn't right, boy.
At least there's Ulysses.
I know. Well, that's the most important thing is Ulysses. All right. Yeah, we are almost done. So where did Ulysses end up, which is so random? Why did he go there? Ella. Right, he ends up where though? He flies to whose house?
The crazy girl.
Raise your hand and don't speak out like that. James. Yes, Dr. Measham. Why did he end up there? I don't know. Well, who's there though? Who's her neighbor? Grant. Yes. Flora's dad. Maybe that's why he went there. He feels safe with Mr. Buckman. Obviously not with Flora's mother.
No.
All right, so chapter 65. Open the door. The hallway of the Blixen Arms emitted the same green, gloomy light, no matter the time of day or night. Watch out for the cat, said Flora. The infamous Mr. Kloss, said William Spiever. He looked around. He was smiling. The cat, who was defeated by the superhero squirrel, I will certainly keep an eye out for him, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but may I just say again what a delight it is to see? Talk about being born anew. Nothing will ever again escape my notice. Goody, said Tootie. I'm not kidding, said Flora. Mr. Kloss could be anywhere. Yes, said William Spiever. My eyes are open. They are open indeed. Knock again, said Tootie. Flora knocked again. Where could her father be in the middle of the night? Had someone kidnapped him too? Was it kidnapping if it was an adult? Or was the adult napping? George Buckman napping? All right, so apparently Tootie, William Spiever, and Flora also end up at the same place. How ironic is that? But the laugh wasn't coming from, and then she heard her father laugh. But the laugh wasn't coming from his apartment. It was coming from apartment 267. Dr. Measham, said Flora. Who? Said William Spiever. Dr. Measham, knock on the door, quick, said Flora to William Spiever. She pointed, and William Spiever raised his hand to knock, just as the door to Dr. Measham's apartment swung wide. Flora Bell, said Dr. Measham, my little flower, our beloved. She was smiling very big. Her teeth were glowing. Ulysses was sitting on her shoulder. Besides Ulysses and Dr. Measham was Flora's father. He was wearing his pajamas. His hat was on his head. George Buckman, said her father, slowly raising his hat to them all. How do you do? Ulysses, said Flora. She said his name like a question, and he answered her. He flew to her. His small, warm, hopeful body hit her with a thud that almost knocked her off her feet. She wrapped her arms, her hands, and self around him. Ulysses, she said, I love you. So much happiness, said Dr. Measham. This is how it was when I was a girl in the Blunder Measham, like this, always opening the door in the middle of the night and finding the face of someone you wanted to see. Well, not always. Sometimes it was a face of somebody you did not want to see. But always, always, in Blunder Measham, you opened the door because you could not stop hoping that that on the other side of it would be a face of someone you loved. This is a very cute picture. I think they're very happy to see each other. I know, so cute. So cute. Bless you. Reunited. Why do they always have that in the apartment? Very odd. All right. Dr. Measham looked at William Spiever and then at Tootie. She smiled, and maybe, too, the face of someone you did not yet know but might come to love. Tootie Tickum, said Tootie. It's a pleasure to meet you. And this is my nephew, William. I would shake your hand, but as you can see, I am in charge of this lamp. Actually, said William Spiever, I am her great-nephew. And my name is William Spiever, and I realize that this is early in our acquaintance for me to be revealing such astonishing and deeply personal information. But I must tell you that I was temporarily blind, and now I can see. Also, I feel compelled to say your face is beautiful to me. In fact, every face is beautiful to me. He turned. Your face, Flora Bell, is particularly beautiful. That's because she is, Flora Bell, okay, even the specular gloom of this hallway cannot dim your loveliness. Specular gloom, said Flora. That's because she is a flower, said Flora's father. My lovely flower. Flora felt herself blushing. It is a lovely face, the face of Flora Bell Buckman, said Dr. Measham. It is truly beautiful, but you have all stood long enough outside. You must come inside now. All right, they are reunited. What is going to happen with the mother?
I don't know.
Chapter 66. Will you please shut up, William Spiever. So, said Dr. Measham, we have been speaking with Ulysses. We have been working to understand his story. From what we have put together so far, it involves a shovel and a sack and the woods and a poem and a giant donut, said Flora's father. Ulysses, sitting on Flora's shoulder, nodded vigorously. A distinctly fishy smell emanated from his whiskers. What did he eat? Who remembers what he ate with crackers? What did Miss Dr. Measham feed? When she?
I like fish. I like it, but I don't like it on crackers.
But what kind of fish in particular?
Tuna?
No. Toby. Sardines. Little teeny tiny fish in a can.
That makes me think of chips and meatballs when they had to eat sardines.
Yes.
Oh,
And the sardines are whole. I mean, they're like all the whole fish. So they're like this big, and it has the head and the whole body. And
who even eats that?
it is gross. All right, so that's why he smells like fish. Flora turned to him. "Where's my mother?" she said. Ulysses shook his head. "Pop," said Flora. "Where's Mom?" "I'm not certain," said her father. He adjusted his hat. He tried to put his hands in his pockets, and then he realized he was wearing pajamas and had no pockets. He laughed. "Holy bagumba," he said softly. "We need a typewriter," said Flora. Ulysses nodded. "We need a typewriter so that we can get to the truth," said Flora. "The truth," said William Beaver, "is a slippery thing. I doubt that you will ever get to the truth. You may get to a version of the truth, but the truth, I doubt it very seriously. Will you please shut up, William Beaver," said Flora. "Shh," said Miss Dr. Measham. Calm. You should maybe sit and eat a sardine." "I don't want a sardine," said Flora. "I want to know what happened. I want to know where my mother is." Just as she said these words, there was a bang, which was followed by a long, bone-chilling yowl, which was in turn followed by a very loud scream. "What was that?" said William Beaver. "That's Mr. Kloss," said Flora. "He's attacking someone." There was another scream, and then came the words, "George! George!" "Uh-oh," said Flora's father. "It's Phyllis." "Mom," said Flora. "How does everybody end up at this point?" Ulysses tensed. He dug his claws into Flora's shoulder. Flora looked at him. He nodded. And then Flora's father was running out the door, and Flora was behind him, and William Beaver was behind her. Another of her mother's screams echoed down the hallway. "George! George!" she shouted. "Please tell me that my baby is in here." Flora turned and said to Tootie, "Bring the lamp. She's worried about Mary Ann." There was another scream. Do you think she's actually worried about Mary Ann?
No.
No.
Worried about this.
Me? Oh, I guess we have another. It says, "It was time again for the squirrel to vanquish a villain. It was time for Ulysses to rescue his arch nemesis." All right, so there he goes, flying down the hall. He's flying. He's a very good flyer, I might add.
Rescue his arch.
He's going to rescue his arch nemesis. Who is who? Who is the arch nemesis in the story? Flora's mom. Who does he have to save her from?
Mr. Claus.
And there he goes, flying down the hall. He is a superhero, squirrel. That's right. Oh dear. So there is there's a fight between the cat. Mr. Claus is very big.
Yeah, I remember that. He tripped over. Yeah, he ate on the ground.
And he looks like Ulysses grabbed Mr. Claus by the tail. Cats do not like to be bit or grabbed by the tail.
Oh my
It
goodness.
doesn't end well. That's a big cat. Is there a cat? It'd be hard to find a real cat. All right, cease the talking. And then at the very end, Mr. Claus is attacking the mom, and she's saying, "Please, George, tell me that Flora is here." So she was wondering about Flora, not Mary Ann. Me, thought Flora. She's here, said Flora's father. Flora's mother started to cry. Everyone needs to calm down, said Tootie. I've got it. She waded into the fray and whacked Mr. Claus over the head with Mary Ann. The cat fell to the ground, and the little shepherdess, as if she were astonished by her own act of violence, crumbled. Uh-oh, her face, her beautiful, perfect pink face broke. There was a tinkle and a crash as the pieces of Mary Ann's head hit the floor. Oops, said Tootie, I broke her. Uh-oh, said Flora, but her mother wasn't looking at the lamp or what was left of the lamp. She was looking at Flora. Flora, her mother said, Flora, I went home and you weren't there. I was terrified. Here she is, said William Beaver. He gave Flora a gentle shove toward her mother. Here I am, said Flora. Her mother stepped over the pieces of the broken little shepherdess. She took Flora in her arms. My baby, she said. Me, said Flora. You, said her mother. All right, she didn't freak out about Mary Ann yet. All right, so this might be it. It is. Chapter 67, The Horsehair Sofa.
No.
Flora's mother was sitting on the horsehair sofa. Flora's father was sitting next to her. He was holding her hand, or she was holding his. In any case, her mother and her father were holding on to each other. Dr. Measham was putting alcohol on Flora's mother's bites and scratches. Ouch, ouch, oh, said Flora's mother. Come, said Dr. Measham to Flora. She patted the horsehair sofa. Sit down, here, beside your mother. Flora sat down on the couch and immediately started to slide off of it. Was there a trick to sitting on the horsehair sofa? Because she certainly hadn't mastered it. And then William Beaver sat down beside her so that she was wedged in between her mother and him. Flora stopped sliding. And I went up to your room, said Flora's mother, and I climbed the stairs to your room, and you weren't there. I was out looking for Ulysses, said Flora. I thought you had kidnapped him. It's true, confessed her mother. I did. Ulysses, sitting on Flora's shoulder, nodded. His whiskers brushed her cheek. I wanted to make things right somehow. I wanted to make things normal, said Flora's mother. Normalcy is an illusion, of course. Oh, guess who said that? Who do you think said that?
Oh, William.
Yes, said William Beaver. There is no normal. Hush up, William, said Tootie. And when I returned, you weren't there, said Flora's mother. She started to cry again. I don't care about normal. I just wanted you back. I needed to find you. And here she is, Mrs. Buckman, said William Beaver in a very gentle voice. Here I am, thought Flora, and my mother loves me. Holy bagumba. And then she thought, oh no, I'm going to cry. And then she did. Big, fat tears rolled down her face and landed on the horsehair sofa and trembled there for a second before they rolled off. You see, said Dr. Measham. She smiled at Flora. I told you, this is how it is with this sofa. Mrs. Buckman, said William Beaver. What is it that you are holding in your hand? What is that piece of paper? It's a poem, said Flora's mother, by Ulysses. It's for Flora. Look at this, said Tootie. They all turned and looked at Tootie. She was standing by the headless Mary Ann, who was plugged in and shining. It still works. Isn't that something?
No. Eat it broken.
Oh, she looks worse. The headless Mary Ann.
Where's the headless one?
The lamp.
Oh.
The lamp no longer has a head, but she still works. Oh dear. Headless Mary Ann.
She looks creepy.
She always looked creepy. Now she just looks more creepy.
2 times creepier is nothing.
Oh my. Headless Mary Ann. Anthony's Mary Ann wanted to be me.
Yeah, it is more
It's not a girl, right? Remember? Is that what you said?
It is maybe it's a girl and a girl. Yeah, weird. That's a girl and a girl.
why don't you read the poem, Phyllis, said Flora's father. Oh, goody, said Tootie, a poetry reading. It's a squirrel poem, said Flora's mother, but it's a good one. Ulysses puffed out his chest. Words for Flora, her mother said. That's the title. I like that title, said William Spiever. He took hold of Flora's hands. He squeezed it. Don't squeeze my hand, said Flora. But she held on tightly to William Spiever, and she listened as her mother read the poem that Ulysses had read. This poem was just the beginning, of course. There would be more. He needed to write about how they always answered the door at the Blundermischen. He needed to write about the saving of Phyllis Buckman from Mr. Claus. He needed to write about Marianne's broken, still shining self and little fishes. He needed to write a poem about little fishes. Also, he wanted to write about things that hadn't happened yet. For instance, he wanted to write a poem where William Spiever's mother called and asked for him to come home. In a poem where the other Dr. Measham came and visited this Dr. Measham and sat beside her and hummed to her and watched her sleep. And maybe there would be a poem about a horsehair sofa and one about a vacuum cleaner. He would write and write. He would make wonderful things happen. Some of it would be true. All of it would be true. Most of it would be true. Ulysses looked out the window and saw the sun glowing on the horizon. Soon it would be time to eat. A wonderful thought occurred to the squirrel. Maybe there would be donuts, giant donuts for breakfast. All right, here is the squirrel's poem. Words for Flora. Nothing would be easier without you, because you are everything, all of it. Sprinkles, quirks, giant donuts, eggs sunny side up. You are the ever-expanding universe to me. Aww, so cute. So, that is the end. Is Ulysses a superhero?
Yeah.
I think he is. He's my favorite superhero. The fact that he can fly and the fact that he can understand. He can battle Mr. Claus. So I think that was very cute. All right, so now I need to check out the movie as far as what it's rated.
There's no bad words or anything. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good.
Who has seen it already? Oh gosh, a lot of you have seen it. Okay. Are you all willing to see it again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Tessa, your mom gives it approval? All right. So we can start watching it tomorrow because we are done and we're done with the Superbook, so we can read. We cannot read. We can watch.